Hi, and welcome back to the Positive Prepper. I got out of the cold state of Wisconsin for a week down here where it's nice and warm and sunny. So I wanted to let you guys know about what's happened in North Carolina. They had two substations that were attacked. They were actually shot at, and right now almost 50,000 people are without power. Nobody knows, who did it, why. Is it an omen of things yet to come? We don't know much about it. The chances of somebody catching them is probably really slim, finding out who did it and why. Why should this concern you? I've done many videos about how our power grid is so fragile right now. It's not guarded. It's very old, not updated. It could be very easily taken down by several different methods. In these particular cases in North Carolina, they happen to shoot at things in the substation that can't be repaired. They have to be replaced. And so they're saying it could take up until Thursday for that stuff to be fixed and for all of those people to have power. So this needs to be a good reminder to you, especially up where I live. If you live up in the colder climates, imagine waking up in the middle of the night and your power grid was attacked, and it's going to be 4, 5, 6 days before it can be repaired. What are you going to do? A lot of my videos focus on prepping for grid down situations. And that can be if it's long-term, short-term. Week is a long time if you're in sub-freezing temperatures. So I want to remind you of some things that you need to have in place, especially if you're in these colder climates. We talk a lot about having that alternative heat source, and that's very important, as well as foods that are easy to cook on alternative cooking methods. So grills, butane, propane stoves, alcohol burners, that type of thing. You also want to make sure that you have water, because if you don't have heat, your water pipes could freeze up or burst. If you know it's going to be for a long time and you drain all the water in your pipes, you're going to need a way to get water. Up where we are, obviously, if there's snow, we can go get snow and melt it, and use that for the back of toilets and washing dishes and whatnot. So having some good drinking water, you can just use plastic water bottles, buckets, your tub, whatever you got to do to get some water, and then obviously have a way to purify it. You want to make sure that you're stocked up on medications, cold medicines, flu medicines, things like Sudafed and Mucinex, as well as your general first aid supplies if somebody gets hurt and you can't get to a doctor. I am not normally one that would suggest using like paper plates and paper bowls, especially in a long-term SHTF, because it creates a lot of garbage. It creates a lot of unnecessary, I don't know how I want to say that. I just wouldn't recommend it. But if you are in a short-term power outage, where it's going to be a week, those things are okay, because then you're using less water to wash dishes. So getting paper plates, paper bowls, plastic silverware, that type of thing for those short-term times, very okay to do. Having things like wet wipes and hand sanitizers so that you're not using water to wash your hands quite so much. Using paper towels, again, it keeps down on laundry instead of using your cloth dish dish towels and that type of thing, using paper towels in these types of short-term situations. Because it's during the winter, and if you're in the colder climates, and you're probably going to be using these alternative sources of heat and cooking, you want to make sure that your fire extinguishers work. Buy new ones if you're not sure if you've had them for a long time. Make sure that your carbon monoxide detectors and your smoke detectors all have fresh batteries. They say that you're supposed to do that, when we turn the clocks ahead and when we turn them behind. Replace the batteries in your detectors. So if you haven't done that, now would be a good time to go do that. And then make sure that you have backup batteries for anything that you need, whether it's flashlights, hand warmers, if you're using walkie-talkies, or whatever it is, just make sure that you have a good supply of backup batteries. You want to have salt and shovels and an ice scraper, your outside winter supplies, if you don't have those already, and again, if you live in a cold climate. Make sure that you winterize your vehicle. Make sure that you have your antifreeze in there, and your tires are all aired up properly. You have safety equipment, backup battery charger in your vehicle. Make sure that your vehicle is completely winterized, and you have essential emergency kits and tools in it. Another thing you might want to consider having available is plastic sheeting and tape. And we've talked about this before, how it's easier to heat a smaller area of your home. So hanging up blankets, use plastic sheeting to cover your windows, cover doorways, and then just, duct tape around it. That's going to make a difference on the amount of heat that you need. Okay. I will give an update on these attacks on the substations in North Carolina when I get them, or when I hear about them, or when I find out what's going on. I'm hearing that there's not a lot of people hearing about this on mainstream media, and that's really, I guess it's not surprising, but it's concerning. So we need to pay attention to what's going on. This isn't the first time it's happened. Nobody knows if it was an extremist group, or if they were, I know there was a drag queen show going on or something, and it might have been somebody upset about that. But these people that shot this up knew what they were doing, because they knew what to shoot at to take both substations down. So probably coordinated, but have no idea by who. This happened, I think it was in 2020 or 2021 as well, and they never caught who did it. It's going to be very hard for them to do that. So keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. Do these things to make sure that if something like this were to happen in your area, that you are prepared for it. The other thing I want to mention too is if you look at the 15,000 substations, power substations we have across the country, I believe that it only takes 9 or 10 of those to be damaged to do a lot of to knock out a whole lot of power across the country. That's not very many. If 2 were hit in North Carolina and 7 more were hit in other states, that could really screw up the entire country's power grid system. So you need to pay attention to this, and you need to get yourself ready just in case. Like I said, I'll give an update if I hear anything more about it, but please do the things that you need to do to winterize yourself and your vehicle, Have the necessities on hand. As always, stay safe, stay aware, and God bless.